just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. What do? We swim, swim.
And at 10,000 to 1 odds, she has found something floating in this vast and sundering ocean. So she covers her ears? Why? She has no idea who is on this raft at this distance, if there even is anyone on this raft at this distance.
If there's any anti-elf sentiment in the world, she can't be aware of it because she's been traveling alone with a bunch of elves.
Well, and from later scenes that we'll see, she has no notion of the current state of Numenorian politics until she rocks up on their shores.
She's barely heard of Numenor, in this timeline at least.
So why is this her first action on seeing strangers?
Also, it's kind of weird to think Tolkien would never have thought that if an elf covers their ears, they'll pass for human. Because there was always something in Tolkien that elves were just distinctly different. The ears, heck, I don't know if the ears were even something in actual Tolkienian lore.
It is never specifically stated in the lore whether their ears are pointy or not.
And yet there's never been a time in Tolkien, I think, that any time an elf wasn't obviously an elf to everyone.
Yes.
The only person ever mistaken when it came to elf or not an elf was Gandalf when he first arrived, was thought to be an elf because he was so mystical and weird, because he was a wizard.
So now that Galadriel has joined our rafties, we have our requisite 7-stranded castaways.
An elf?
You liar.
But she didn't lie. She didn't even lie by omission. You didn't ask her if she was an elf.
You have pointed ears? If you have pointed ears, you have to tell me.
So a sea monster appears from the rider's ass and wrecks up the raft, but Galadriel and one other dude get away. And as suddenly as it appeared, the sea monster is gone again. Forever. It will never again be seen, commented on, explained, even hinted what it was, why it came back for the raft, but spared these two. Welcome to hell! We warned you! And we're back to the 32-34 Dwarven Highland Games, where everyone and everything is getting smashed.
I'll tell you where I'm not. That's down at the tavern watching the pig castrating playoffs.
The dog may bark at the moon, but he cannot bring it down.
Okay, there's yet another bit of random dialogue dumbassery.
Don't think that was on the dog's agenda.
Exactly.
And a fish can whistle, but it still doesn't vote for Taft.
Time for some compliments again. The lift here? Nice. Clever. Well designed. And this scene as they're riding up, talking about the differing timescales and perceptions that these races live under. This is actually good. Why can't you give us more of this?
Well, the good writer was only on loan for one day.
Then he got a concussion and started calling strawberries fart nuggets.
And became a producer.
You cannot claim that which you discarded. 20 years may be the blink of an eye to an elf. But I've lived an entire life in that time.
Holy crap, I'm actually getting invested in these characters. You actually did something original and right. Okay, I was complimenting the world building in Khazad-dûm earlier, but now I'm looking at it and going, why are these ceilings so high in Durin's chambers? I understand why you would have high ceilings in like a great hall or a throne room or a public area, both for impressing visitors and for just better ventilation, but why in what's essentially a living room would you have a ceiling more than double the height of the intended occupant? Seems just like a waste to chop out that much rock.
Come on! Hurry along. Make yourself comfortable, please.
But not too comfortable.
Okay, these dwarves are a bit sillier than traditional Tolkien dwarves, but then Gimli was already a little bit more comedic than in the books, and these characters, they're personable, they're more likable than most of our cast so far. I'm actually liking these characters, so help me Manwë. I know this actress here who plays Disa, she's made herself pretty unappealing in the promotional materials, but just in show, her character seems like one of the better ones so far.
Give it till the end of the season, Kim. This is Amazon. Nothing good will last.
Also, this is less of a serious compliment and more of something that just amused me. I love how Durin and Disa are sitting in these tall-backed, stately, large thrones, but they give Elrond the stubby little child-sized seat to sit on. That feels like a delightful bit of pettiness from Durin, and I'm enjoying it.
Guarantee you that was a suggestion by one of the actors and not one of the producers. Because there's thought behind it.
I'm going to go ahead and give you back one of these man cards. You deserve it.
It's back to the Galadriel.
You held on to it as long as you could, didn't you?
And she bitches out the one person trying to help her for no good reason.
I'm simply wondering what manner of man would so readily abandon his companions to death.
I remind you that this is his raft he's been graciously letting you steer, and his water skin he's been graciously allowing you to drink from. So maybe shut it and take it!
Around your neck. Is that the mark of your people's king?
Okay, so she gets a brief glimpse of this pendant that he's wearing inside his shirt, and she immediately jumps to assuming that it's some kind of royal insignia. Not that she recognizes it, just that she assumes that's what it must be.
He could be a waterbed salesman for all we know.
I don't know, when I see someone wearing some kind of amulet inside their shirt, I generally assume some kind of religious talisman or a personal keepsake, not proof that they're a king.
Maybe it's a Drac Bible.
Oh, just kiss already. It's what the shippers want.
Only the deranged ones.
That's redundant.
I have pursued this foe since before the first sunrise bloodied the sky. It would take longer than your lifetime, even to speak the names of those they have taken from me.
But the only one you seem to care about is Finrod. And even if I were to make a list of the canon named characters in the original story that have died by this point, that you would have had any relationship with whatsoever, I could do that inside of 2 minutes.
Plus, isn't that kind of racist anyway, to sit there and hold someone's short lifespan up against them as this is why you're worthless? Far be it from Galadriel to not be likable.
And it's back to Bella, and these random shots of village decorations trying to be ominous?
I think it's supposed to be that this is a ruined village and there was life here and now it's gone kind of a thing. It's some of the only production money that didn't actually go into being laundered for the Chechen mob, Kim. Well, I was thinking given the prehistory of this town and the location it's at, these people would actually see the Eagles as an invading force of the enemy.
Hey, get out of here, Tom Shippey! Shoot!
No,
shoot!
no,
shoot!
Ow, ow, ow!
You're fired!
A sword tunnel, dug deep and with care. By what, I cannot say, but they were digging towards us. I tell you, we remain here at our peril. We must spread the word.
No, I will not have this gossip, Bronwyn. I've seen landslides less dangerous than a wayward tongue without proof.
You know, this, what is he, a barkeep, a butcher? At any rate, he's not wrong. But, of course, he's failed to listen to a woman, which is a cardinal sin now. So, Bella's broody brat here, what's his name? Theo, that's his name. At any rate, he is so annoyed by the mice under the floorboards that he goes completely ballistic.
He's raging out on that floorboard like Kim rages out on this show.
And accidentally finds... an orchestral sting! Oh, and this eye. And simultaneously being chased by the orchestra is Elford, Arendir, that's it. He's still underground and, well...
Well, that was fun. Who's for Chinese?
So, this scene in the house with Bronwyn and Theo, it's actually pretty effective.
It's almost like a horror movie, and in the right way.
Yeah, although it starts pretty stupidly. Why is he hiding in the cabinet rather than fleeing the house? And why does she follow suit, hiding somewhere else rather than fleeing the house?
Although I do like the idea that here's this creature with terrifying claws and teeth and all these things, And for once, orcs are treated like monsters instead of just enemy foot soldiers. Because when you're a trained soldier and warrior, yeah, an orc is no big deal. When you're just a regular civilian, an orc is a terrifying intruder that can eat you alive. I like that they treat this like it's terrifying for once. That's a nice touch.
And the fight sequence is reasonably creative, definitely suspenseful.
Nice and desperate.
You'll never be the head of a major corporation.
Okay, that'll do.
Okay.
And it ends with Bronwyn displaying her kill, bitch slapping the barkeep with girl power, and then taking control and...
We make for the Elven Tower at first light.
Delaying at least 8 hours, because when she went into the house to fight the orc, it was not yet dark, and she's saying, we're gonna leave at first light. Why not go now?
A just question.
Tell everybody, meet me at the village well as soon as you can gather your possessions. Why wait until dawn if the need is so urgent?
Well, if I'm going to be fair, it would take time to gather provisions for a journey that big for that many people. It's not something you can just up and do. And when the danger could be happening anytime but is not literally they're running at us now, I can see why you need to pack up things, and they may not know about orcs in daylight. They may not know that they'd be worse off waiting in the night.
I would agree with you if it wasn't that we'll find out later that they left all of their animals.
So he's an idiot.
Try to be nice. Try to give them the benefit of the doubt.
I told you to stop doing that. It's never worth it.
Can't help it.
And back over to Galadriel and Halbrand, is it? Halbrand. So, Monway valiantly tries to smite this bitch, but alas, she once again fails to die. That's it, Halbrand. Just let her go. Just let her go.
I hold his head under the water till that last bubble goes bloop.
And alas, yet again, he saves her after all. And back at the Legion of the Not Bits.
It's a lantern. We use fireflies.
The hell is... What are these writers on?
Finest weed in the South Valley.
Well, there's some more head trauma for this group. What a shock. Also for the Hobbit people.
Wait, these lanterns have fireflies in them? So you don't have proper fire? Do you not know how to cook? Or, no, you know what fire is because you were surprised that the fire wasn't hot when Meteor Man landed and, but...
The latest of Yuuzhan Vong technology.
But why would you choose to make a lantern out of fireflies rather than actual fire? It's so much less efficient. You'd get a less consistent light. It would take so many fireflies per lantern. And how would you get them to stay in the open-topped lantern? And, oh my god, ow, my brain. Oh, this is dumb.
But the whimsy! Also, speaking of whimsy, they all die.
Yes, the fireflies all die because ominous foreshadowing. Woo.
Which will be for nothing.
But wait, that's not enough ominous foreshadowing, because we cut back over to the dwarves, where Durin is talking with his dad, the king, and they apparently opened the briefcase from Pulp Fiction? Okay, well that's kind of random, but no, wait! We've got yet more ominous foreshadowing. Because now we're back over to the villagers, where the broody brat is packing his things, and he drips some blood on his weird hilt that he found under the barn, prompting, you guessed it, ominous foreshadowing.
Nothing like a sword boner to make you want to watch episode 3.
But wait! There's more!
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it!
One more dose of ominous foreshadowing before we go, as a ship looms over Galadriel and her new man crush, and cut to credits.
We are deeply sorry.
So be sure you come back for episode 3 to find out what all these things are about.
I can tell you exactly why they did this, though. Because they first released episodes 1 and 2 together as basically a two-parter. This was their way to hook you for the rest of the season. It did not work for 2/3 of the audience.
And I question how many of that remaining third were watching it because they enjoyed it, and how many were watching it for the lulz and the mockery.
That would be where we are.
So that was episode 2, Adrift. A not inaccurate title. Will this plot resolve itself? Will this ominous foreshadowing pay off?
Will, you unstrap me from this couch already.
No, you are doomed to 6 more episodes. And so are you, viewers. Help me.
I have to go potty.